Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here. What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? Hopefully, everyone's settling in right now, having a nice little hot cup of. Wait, it's not. Why would you drink a hot cup of tea at 8 p.m.? Maybe that's what you want to do, but maybe some tea, some coffee, whatever it is you're drinking, or eating some dinner, or just hanging out in general, watching your boy Trader Prad and about to get his boogie on in the stock market. So obviously, you know what we're here to do. We're here to talk about all things stocks market, all things that I did today on the market, and all the things that we possibly can do tomorrow and look out for tomorrow. All the fun stocks, all the fun movers. I have a watch list prepared for you. I have a bunch of other things ready for today to do. So a little bit of what looks like a shorter stream in my opinion, because my watch list is not that big and I don't really have a lot of stocks to talk about from my trades. Well, I did trade a lot today, but my trades were pretty much a dud. I grinded all day for absolutely no reason almost. I'm just trying to open up. Why can't I open this picture? Hello? Okay, that's weird. Trying to open up this picture for you guys to show, but it won't let me open up my do I have to download it? View original. There we go. Now I can open up the pictures. So opening up my trades for the ones that I traded today, so we can talk about my best and my worst trades. We got a pretty decent enough of a watch list ready for you guys to talk about. Any of the stocks that you guys want me to add to that watch list, or any special stocks that you want me to take a look at, feel free to throw them in the chat. So we'll add some more lists, especially if the stocks are interesting in that basket of stocks for me to talk about. And then we'll take a look at a couple YouTube videos. Maybe we'll learn some new things from S&B Capital or somebody else, and then we'll kind of wrap off the day with taking a look at the economic calendar, and seeing if there's any important events for the market to move around with, especially with the QQQ and the S&P 500 being so close to the all-time high. QQQ literally like what, 70 cents from all-time high. So lots of opportunities for us to get into, lots of trades for us to talk about. How did today go for me? Like I already mentioned, it was pretty much a flat slash red day for me. I started off deeply in the red, got back to green, but then got back to red again, and ended up pretty much flat on the day to the red side. Overall, I'm just happy that from where I was on the day to where I got to, it was a big battle and a climb back from that, and I'm glad that I was able to stick it out and kind of not really get mentally demotivated, and then I was able to find good trades, and I was able to keep on looking for opportunities and fight my way back. That was a big thing over there to start off a Monday on not too much of a damage. Now, however, tomorrow being not a Monday could bring in some opportunities, but something that I'm noticing is like the market's not really doing too much at the moment. Yes, it was a nice little green day on the QQQ. Yes, it was a good little green day on the S&P 500 also. But with Christmas right around the corner, it looks like the market's losing a little bit of steam, a little bit of volume, specifically losing a little bit of volume as people are in the holiday modes, possibly on vacation, and not really at their desks trading and whatnot. So we're not really seeing too much volume. So we have to be very selective when it comes to stocks, and that's why our watch list comes into help. We have all the stocks that moved around today. A lot of them with catalyst based. Some of them are old earning stocks. Some of them are new earning stocks. Actually, no new earnings stocks to talk about, but I will show you guys the earnings calendar for all of this week for us to be interested in. People in the chat getting active. I love seeing you guys in the chat being active. We got Dieter, TH, CDP. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Consensus is a pullback now is likely. I mean, I'm not denying that at all, right? So, I just don't know. I don't know what I don't know. We'll see if the market, wants to keep on going past the all-time highs, especially for the QQQs, or are we just going to peak above the all-time highs and then start going back down? Really unsure as to what to expect from the overall market. Just gonna let time play it out and then let that opportunities set up for ourselves to trade off of, and we'll be covering that. So I think QQQ will be something. Obviously, take a look at Nvidia moving up. Yeah, I have that on my watch list. Tesla Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, pretty much all of the big tech basket for us to take a look at. Why don't we start off with my trades on the day today? So we'll quickly dive right into my worst trade on the day first, which is X.NY, X on New York, coming out with the positive catalyst that they're gonna get bought out by a Japan company, Japan Nippon Steel, for about $55 a share. The stock pops up in pre-market, then gets sold off. Right off the open, I was able to see the stock was reserving this 49.50 area and not really going under 49.50. So figuring, there was a big buyer at 49.50. This was possibly a chance to get into a long, got long, scalped some out. Then I started trying some longs in the higher area, trying some longs later on, some shorts, some longs, some shorts. I basically over traded the crap out of this stock at one point. Overall over here though, in the shorts and in the longs, I was able to kind of turn the stock into a winner, or at least flat on the day for me. But I just kept battling the stock under 50, not really giving up on the trade, and this kind of turned my day back into red because of this stupid buyout stock. Can't really be calling that stock stupid. It was morally more me being stupid, not managing my trade properly, and shooting myself in the foot over there on X.NY. Hopefully tomorrow I don't do anything stupid like that. Pretty important day for that stock because lots of volume came in and there were tons of opportunities to trade it. I just traded it a little poorly. I haven't traded buyout stocks in a long time, so when I traded that one, I didn't really trade it like a proper buyout. Traded it like an absolute Momo stock and got burnt on it. I guess I tried to do Momo and buyout at the same time with that one, and that's what hurt. So that was my worst trade on the day. And this was my best trade on the day. Dollar General. Dollar General right around yesterday's lows into 128 or so. Got some shorts after it popped. Was able to take the low a day breakout. Then scalp some profits. Then got some more back. Took some more profits. Able to take some more wins to the downside. Then I tried to see if I could get back in for a bigger move to the downside on this position. That one gets stopped out. And overall, that pretty clean trade. Not too much to really explain. Yesterday's lower day breaking, today's lower day breaking, and using those two areas to kind of build into a longer trade to the downside. The stock when I had entered had only completed half of its ATR, so I figured if there was more selling coming in on Dollar General, it could easily have a move down to 125, 126 areas, which it did, which happened to be almost one full ATR, about $4 or so. I think this move over here overall was about $3, but right around at 126, it was about $4 worth of move, which is one ATR worth of move for DG. I figured, once I get one ATR, I'm not really going to be expecting too much from this stock. Maybe it's time to just take it and run, and I just took my profits and got stopped out over here for break even on my last few shares that I had left. So Dollar General, my number one trade on the day. Pretty good trade for myself. Josh saying consensus never wrong, question mark. I mean, it could be wrong. Also I don't know. That's a good question. How often is consensus wrong and how often is consensus right? I guess it doesn't really matter. Consensus at the end of the day is just a bunch of people voting and a bunch of people saying, oh, I think this is going to happen. I think that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to happen are the ones who actually put the money to work and make the stock market move with their capital, right? And those are the only things I personally care about, and that will be shown on the market, not on the consensus. Obviously the consensus is a good thing to keep on the watch because it will tell you if people are expecting downside or if people are expecting upside and how they're planning to position themselves. But at the end of the day, position is position. Price and volume are the only two things that I care about. And according to that, man, we are only 72 cents away from all-time high on the QQQ market. 72 cents away from a little bit more? No, 72 cents from all-time high after today's move. So pretty damn close for that bad boy. Consensus is meant to be for warning or foreshadowing or fortune telling. I just watch levels. Yeah, I just watch levels. I don't really follow consensus at all, to be honest. I just watch levels. Like I said though, it's good to watch consensus. Doesn't hurt. It's good to have an idea of what other people are thinking about. Always worth it, because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing on the market. You're just trading against somebody else. You're going against somebody else, and you gotta understand what they're thinking, or how they are thinking. How are they rationalizing their trades, their positions, and where could they punch out? Where could they add on their position? If you understand your counterparty better than they can understand themselves, then you're like pretty much one step ahead. You have a big edge in the market. Uh, so coming back to the market, I have a pretty decent watch list over here, showing you guys the watch list on the day today. Ooh, why are you bugging out? Showing you guys the watch list for the day today, starting with a bunch of the movers that came out with some catalyst, NIO, some of the other stocks that moved around like Adobe, UPST. Adobe recently announced earnings report. Talking about earnings, let me quickly show you earnings for this week. We have FedEx coming up with earnings this week, General Mills, Micron. So looks like the earnings season's kind of starting back up. Kind of, is that true? Because FedEx usually kicks off the earnings season. So does Micron, if I remember correctly. Yeah, CCL. Is earnings season starting back up, chat? I was in September. Does it say what Q this is? Is Q1 or Q? This is Q4, right? Doesn't say. I think, I don't know. Why does it feel like Micron already reported? I don't know. That's tripping me out. I feel like we're starting earning season back up really soon again. So, I mean, usually earning seasons that they built it up in a way where it's just a constant throughout the year. Now you get four earning cycles a year. So for some reason I feel like the cycle starting back up with Micron on the board, FedEx on the board, BlackBerry, Nike, GM, all of which are coming up into this week. FedEx will be important for tomorrow, so we'll talk about that tomorrow after hours, along with GM, to see if we can find any trades going into those stocks. But for tonight, sadly, we don't have any big earnings names on board, so we're gonna go straight over to NIO, which had a strategic investment catalyst come out today, and that took the stock up to the north side, slightly above 850. But then on the way back, didn't really have any buying at 850, so that kind of kept me away from this position on the day trade side. I need to see the stock basically holding 850. If we're not holding 850, then it's not really getting ready for me to go long yet. Even with today's catalyst, how the pre-market boost came into this position, it completely got negated after the open, and just basically got stayed. It stuck in between the range of 820 to 850. So for me to be bullish on the stock, I still need to see it above 850, and my inflection point is still 850. If anyone's wondering what I'm doing right now on my second screen, I'm actually filling out my notes over here for my watch list, and you can subscribe to that watch list by subscribing to my Patreon. All links down below, and all of these watch lists are sent out to you every single morning. Start out morning right after the end of the stream. I send out the watch list to your email, and you can take a look at it to kind of help you build some trades around these ideas. So right now, NIO, we're looking at this 850 area. In my opinion, I just care about 850, but we do have this 820 area that we already have mapped out. For anyone wondering where that 820 area comes from, looks like that one's a pretty, no, that was this one right here, 820 area. Couple tops around this 820, 830. Looks like anywhere from 820 to 830 could be kind of support. I'm just gonna put 820 in my notes over here for support for NIO. And as for the notes, need to see the stock get above 850 and hold for me to think long. Bias bullish above 850. So that's for NIO. Next stock up on board is Adobe. So let's go take a look at Adobe. This one's obviously a little bit of a higher price position. So it's going to be harder for most of you guys to trade. I know when I posted my Costco trade recently, wow. Costco, my third best trade on the day today, did not think the stock was going to $680, which is a 2 ATR move. I thought the stock was, maybe gassed out around 1 ATR, so I stopped trading it after making my long trade today. But boy, oh boy, did the stock break out even more and went up to $681. Anyways, my point was, on earnings day when I posted my long on Costco, some of you on Discord were kind of like shocked and puzzled, or like, oh my god, Prad, how are you trading a $600 trust position? It's not that hard. You just don't take a retarded amount of you don't take stupid amount of size, and you just go for it. Adobe over here, you guys know how I love Adobe because of everything, Photoshop, the AI capabilities that they're building. Adobe also had a catalyst today that they're not going to go forward with their Figma takeover bid that they had. So Figma deal falling through, that brought in a boost. Figma deal not going through brings them a boost because they're not going to be out of billions of dollars or whatever that deal. There's like a hair in my eye, man. Whatever billions amounts of dollars that they would have officially been out by buying that company, they're no longer going to be out of that money. So that deal falling apart, it was actually Adobe who decided to not go through that deal. So a little bit of a bigger boost coming into the north side over here, with the market going up to Adobe going back to 600. I think we did break 600, did we not? Yeah, we did break 600, but then going back under 600 for the close. So basically the earnings day high, you're still waiting to see how the stock trades on the earnings range. We look like we have something around 606 on the earnings after our move. The pre-market move on the earnings itself was ridiculous, all the way from 640 to 565. Ever since we made this bottom around 565 off the earnings pre-market, so earnings after hours, the stock never really pushed below 580-ish. So looks like a good support near 580s. I have another line around 590. If I was to zoom out, look where that line comes from. I'm guessing that's that 590 line. Yep, that's a 590 line. So looking for maybe more supports to come in at 590. The stock not really going too much under 590 in my opinion, and finding support there could give you some bullish runs, more bullish runs to the north side. Jesus, dying. Could give you more bullish runs to the north side over here on Adobe, at which point we could kind of look for that long opportunity. The earnings wasn't really the strongest earnings report, and if I remember correctly, they didn't post the guidance, or maybe I'm thinking of a different company. Maybe I'm thinking of a different company. As for resistance, we're just gonna put down 600, and then the next point after 600, I was gonna put 605/606. Inflection will be 590. Yeah, I think inflection is either 590 or basically 600. If we do get back above 600, or 600, basically, if stock can get above 600 and hold, could look for a long move on Figma news. If stock can hold 590, could look for a long move. Bearish under 590, bullish above, bearish below 600, bullish above. So that's the plan for Adobe. However, this is not really a high priority stock for me, so I'm just going to put it on the blue color list of stocks. High price stock. Earnings moves are kind of dying down already. We're now getting a secondary catalyst play. Now I'm just kind of waiting to see if people still want to buy up this position. I mean, I don't know why I said still. It did drop quite a bit off of the earnings report, but it wasn't that big of a drop where where if investors are waiting around, let's say 514, 515, I want to see if they want to punch 590 or even 600. If they're not willing to punch 590, 600 areas, then I think they're still waiting around these lows, which the stock has yet to go test after that somewhat of a weird earnings report that they had. So in my opinion, Adobe could easily crumble to the downside. But if they are holding 590 as a day trade, you could possibly pull something off on that. Next up on board, ladies and gentlemen, UPST. Upstart perfectly holding off in that range as we wanted to. We talked about on our previous notes over here. Screw it. I'm not going to pull up my previous notes. It's a waste of my time. On our previous notes, we talked about how this gap, very, very small gap. The gap is from $44 to $46.50 or so. Very, very small gap. After popping up, how the stock could possibly trade within this gap and create a little bit of a compression range between this gap. That's exactly what it's doing. We did try to break out of that range today, and we did so pretty strongly. I mean, UPST ran up insane to $48, but then came right back down and didn't really hold in the ranges that I would have liked it to. So now I'm a little bit iffy on this position. It's still bullish in my opinion, as long as we're still above 44. You can still buy the 44 dips. You can still short the 47 areas if the trade does show up. I guess the area now is at 48 instead of 47. So I'm just going to put resistance 48, support 44, inflection 44. Notes, if stock can hold 44, can get long, and then I'm gonna set up an alert right around $44 for myself. That way when the stock is going down there, I will be alerted, and then we could look for that long right into 44/43.30, 43.30/43. Okay, as for my bias, bullish above 44, 43.50/44. Bullish above 44/43.50. Today's move is a little bit, it kind of negates this pop. You saw that the pop came in right off the open, but the pop got taken away from the market. It had no more juice in it, and then we kind of just stayed in this range. So today's move kind of like negates this whole thesis that there is a bigger move to the north side. But I think as long as we're still holding 44, there is still another chance, another breakout chance for the upper move over here into $50, and then maybe later on into $70, $60, $70 over here on Upstart. So I would like to continue to hold the stock on my watch list and see how we get to trade off of this one. Wow, Yando, the Mando is in the chat. He's saying Amazon. Amazon will be taking a look at last. And honestly, you can just go talk to Obi to get Amazon opinions, because he's like the best Amazon trader ever apparently, right? So yeah, you work with Obi. Just ask Obi for Amazon. You don't need my opinion for that. After the little pullback on BTC, now going up, still a good place to enter for a longer play on Riot and Mara. Both of those are on the watch list, Diders, so we'll take a look at that. Palantir 1780, beautiful look for the long. I thought about it, but I'm not sure. Like, see what it did again? Rejected 2020 again, or rejected 1920 this time, not 2020, sorry. That the stock just struggling at 20, at 19, at 18. It's just not looking good, man. Not looking good. If I want to go adding Palantir to my portfolio, I'm waiting at 17. I'm waiting at 14, 15s. I'm not adding at 19s or 20s because I've seen what's been happening so far, right? So I'm not really sure if it's setting up for a beautiful long just yet. I would negate that thesis. Palantir also has been decreasing on volume pretty drastically. We went from trading, what, 200 million shares a day to 60 million shares a day? Where the buyers at? Where the buyers at? You got to understand that Palantir has like billion share float. Look at the Palantir shares. 1.83 billion shares float. If you can understand what that entails for this stock, for it to move up how much buying is required? Insane. Absolute insane. So Palantir has it's got some time. It's got some time. Now, coming back from Palantir to my watch list, the next stock on board is actually DocuSign. DocuSign with a monster move yesterday. Well, not yesterday, on Friday actually. Who the hell is that? DocuSign uh, made a monster move on Friday, later half in the day, on some buyout rumors. And as you guys can see off of that rumor, it basically rejected perfectly off that June 9th high and never really walked back to that high today. Kind of struggled around that 61 area, just traded sideways around 61, showing you that, maybe the rumor was just a rumor, no real substance behind that rumor today because the stock did absolutely nothing. Maybe tomorrow we get a little bit of a drop to the downside, or the stock can continue to hold 60, get back above 61 like it is currently holding 61, and then we get that move back into $64 on that buyout rumor that's going on, because usually people buy the rumor, sell the news. So you want to wait and see if the stock can get bought up. Currently, it was on my watch list today as a high priority stock, especially if it was holding 61, but with the lack of volume throughout the day and without any moves coming in, especially when the market was going higher, I figured the stock was a dud. If anything, it was a short, and even the short wasn't looking that clean of a trade to the downside. So I just stayed away from it, and looks like I made the right decision on Docu. But for tomorrow, as you guys can see, today's candle was a big inside candle. Friday's candle was a big candle, so today's candle obviously an inside candle. We're still expecting this range to show up as a support, which is 59 to 59.60 if it does drop down there. So 59.50 to 59 to 59.50 as a first support area. We still have 61/60 as the support area still, in my opinion. On fuck is wrong with this software? We still have that 60 support, 61 support coming in my opinion. Yeah, today's VWAP right around 61.20, basically showing you that most of the volume transacted into this area. So I'm going to use that 61 area as a guide still. As for resistance, the only resistance that I care about is that 65 area. Anything before that is not a real resistance in my opinion. So I'm going to be waiting for that 65. Inflection will be 61. If stock can continue to hold 61, and not really trade under this, could look for a long 265s. Bullish above 61 on Docu. So that's going to be my notes, and I'll put it on an orange color just because I do feel like, the stock could randomly bring in some volume tomorrow and start waking up. And if it does do that, I don't want to let that blue color scheme on my watch list. For anyone wondering what that means, blue colors are basically a little bit of a lower priority than the orange color stocks. So I don't want the blue color on Docu to kind of deter me away from even keeping the stock on my watch list. I want to have it on my watch list. I want to be prepared for it. I have my notes. I have my trade idea. And I even have the color coding to help me look at the stock first thing in the morning to see where it's moving in pre-market, how it's trading, and then we can situate ourselves off of those moves in pre-market. Next up on board, we got Carvana. Carvana very close to that 55, 56 high, 57 high. There we go. To that 57 high. You guys see how I have that alert marker on Carvana near 57. I'm just going to put in 57.20 I'll put 57 to 57.20 as my resistance on this stock. As for support, you got this nice little base being formed in front of 49.50 area. Looks like 49.50 to 50 area forming a little bit of a base support. We also have yesterday's VWAP and whatnot coming in kind of around 53 and then 54. Not really sure if I can use any of these areas of support. Maybe if these areas do come in and the stock shows you some support holding some of these areas, you could use that as a guide, but I'm not really 100% keen on using that area as a support just yet. Let's go back to the 1-year chart. This is the first range of support that I was looking at. I don't think so. You know what? Yeah, 53. We'll put 53 over here, which is 53 as for the support area. Inflection, in my opinion, will be that high that you're looking at near 57. So as for the notes, if stock can get above 57 and hold clearly, then this is bullish, but expecting a fake breakout or a trap into this high to short on. Bearish overall, but if stock can hold 57, bullish. So bearish sentiment overall. If the stock can hold 57 and get above 57, then that is pretty bullish for me. And then maybe we can start looking for some bigger moves over here on the stock, all the way back into $100. Like, I don't think Carvana is doing that, right? Carvana doesn't really make money. Carvana is also like a highly shorted stock, 34% short flow. That short flow could bring in some squeeze, but as we talked about the possible short squeeze on this trade, I mean, where are the shorts? In my opinion, if the shorts are somewhere here or here, they already took profit. If you didn't take profits from 100 to 40, then you're an absolute idiot. You're an absolute idiot, right? Maybe there's some shorts trapped around over here into 57, 58, 59, 60. Maybe if the stock breaks 59, 60, there's some stops that can get blown out. And that is a chance for us to play with. But I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening. That's it. So in the back of my head, I do have that trade idea, that trade setup of that short squeeze always there, but I'm mostly bearish. I'm mostly bearish for Carvana. All right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Mara. Mara pushing into that beautiful $20 area. If I remember correctly, I think I got a short off of 20 today. Was a profitable trade. Not really too much of profits coming in from that short. I think it only dropped like 20 cents or so. So it wasn't that big of a short. But Mara, what a monster long on the day today. You can see how it just marched right into that $20 area. $20 area. Pretty significant double top now coming in. Now the question is, what happens at 20? Today's high 20.09, so I'm just going to put 20 as my resistance for Mara. And as for support, possibly right around this $18 area for support. Go back into the 5-minute chart. 1860 to 18 could just come into support, in my opinion. Yesterday's low, what is today's close? Today's close will be 1988. Yeah, I think the stock could kind of come down over here, find some buying into today's ranges, and then pop right back into today's high around 20. So 1860, 1850, 1860 area looks a little interesting for me. I'm going to put down that 1860 guide for support on Mara in case it does dip down there. Could look for some longs. Inflection, however, will be that 20 in my opinion. So as for notes, if stock can get above 20 and hold, could get long, but mainly looking for 20 reject to short into. Bullish above 20, bearish below. Bullish above 20, bearish below. Overall, no bias. Overall, no bias. I like how I put overall no bias, even though I put in my notes mainly looking to short, which is pretty bearish of a bias. But then I put overall no bias. What a liar I am. Okay, color code for Mara goes into orange, and the same thing for Riot. Color code for Riot goes into orange. This one's level, I don't even need to look at the charts. I already know it. It's that 16 area, and look how monster of a breakout Mara has past 16. My God, 16, 18 coming into play. So now if Mara can pull back and hold 16, it's almost a way cleaner of a setup than MARA for the long over here, because Mara has already extended, has ran up to the north side quite a bit, but Riot has a little bit of catching up to do, in my opinion, on the daily chart over here. Obviously, two different companies, two different financials, two different books, whatever. But if you're kind of looking at how the Bitcoin market has been moving, how Coinbase has been moving, how Mara has been moving, Riot has been the lagger. Riot has been the slower one. So if Riot can now wake up, kind of go full Goku mode over here, we could just see the stock popping into some of its old prices like 17, 18, open up some of the room all the way into 19 and even $21 over here for us to have some fun with. So I'm looking forward to see what happens over here on Riot on a possible hold of 16 to see if we can get some longs to build into. So for notes, buying dips of 16 if stock can hold. Bullish if 16 can hold, if not, staying away. I don't really want to short the stock because I think we'll run into easy buying into 15.50, into $15 if we do dip down there. So I rather wait under 16 for more buying chances if 16 is not the buying chance. So Riot only looking for longs, only bullish bias. Resistances, not really putting down any resistances, but there is something at 18, 19, and then $21. Okay, so that's Riot for me. It follows mostly Bitcoin action. I guess you could say that, but then Bitcoin is right here forming a wedge pattern, right? Yeah, it's forming a wedge, it's breaking out, but then you see how, okay, let me show it to you this way. You could say that, but it doesn't necessarily do that picture perfectly, right? So let me show you what I mean by that. How do I compare? Yeah, I do that. BTC USD, right? As you can see, where is it? It's pretty correlative. When Bitcoin's going down, it's going down. When Bitcoin's going up, it's going up. But then you see what's happening over here? A little bit of divergence. Bitcoin's stabilizing or going up, Mara going down. Bitcoin stabilizing, Mara going down. You could show the same thing for Riot too, right? I could show the same picture for Riot real quick. RIOT, compare it with Bitcoin USD. Right? Look at that. Bitcoin going up, Mara going down, right? It does correlate pretty well, but not always. It doesn't always happen like that. And sometimes some lag. Some of them lag a lot more than the others. So you just have to kind of be pretty careful with using this as a true barometer, as a true indicator to help you find situations or help you find trades. Oh, Bitcoin's going, I'm gonna jump into a long on Coinbase and hope that it makes me money. There's 40% chance that works out for you, 60% chance that doesn't work out for you, right? So you got to be a little careful on that one. Riot. Next up after Riot, we got Rivian, Roblox, Affirm, and a bunch of other stocks. So let's go take a look at it. Let me show you the watch list one more time. Once again, if you guys are interested to subscribe to my watch list, you can do so by going directly to Patreon and subscribe over there. And along with that subscription, you get a free, well, not a free, you got a 1 hour one-on-one with your boy TraderPrad, where we can sit down, go over your trades, kind of understand where you're making your mistakes and how to improve on it. I can maybe help you think a little bit differently. Maybe you're not asking yourself the right questions, and we can elevate your trading setup a little bit the way my trading setups have been elevated with the help of my managers and my mentors and so on. So if you guys wanted to subscribe to that, feel free to go check out Patreon by doing !Patreon in chat, or you can also do Cameo and you can also subscribe to my Cameo if you want to go wish your friends or family members a happy new year or a merry Christmas or whatever in some fun wacky ways. Feel free to go to Cameo, do !Cameo in chat, and feel free to ask me to do any crazy wacky stuff you want me to do. Cameo, Cameo, Cameo. You mean like now? Yes, kind of like now, but that way you get to support me. It's more one-on-one. We can even do it on stream, kind of like one-on-one podcast interview stream, kind of like educating, teacher-student session kind of, or we can do it off stream if you don't want to be on stream with your voice. But it's more personal, and it also you support me. You also support me by doing that, which is something that I would appreciate very much. You know, I'm kind of struggling right now, kind of struggling in life. So I would appreciate any and all supports. But all of that is optional. I'm not forcing anyone to support me on Patreon. You guys know how most of my information is absolutely free. Everything I do is basically free. Even this watch list that you guys are streaming right now is absolutely free. You guys get to hear me talk about it. You can even watch the stream back anytime you want, but before tomorrow, instead of paying for the watch list. It's absolutely free, right? Or you could support your streamer. You can support your creator by going that way, and if you do that, then I will go the extra route and actually send you the watch list. That was the reasoning behind it. All optional. At the end of the day, all optional. Let's keep the ball rolling as it is 8:40. Rivian coming up on the watch list over here. Rivian pushing up into this beautiful zone of 2450 to 25 area. So let's mark those areas 2450 to /25. We're looking to see if Rivian can find resistances right into these zones. I'm gonna throw in an alert again right in this area. Should I throw it here? Yeah, you know what? I'll throw it here. I'll throw my alert here for Rivian. That way I get alerted a little bit under that purple zone, and then we get to see what happens. Overall, expecting rejections of that zone. Rivian, however, if it does peak above it and find buyers above it, there could be a long, based on today's candle, I think expecting the stock to do much higher than this will be crazy. I don't see that happening. So a fail break of 25, backside of 25 shorts possibly coming into play over here on Rivian. I will be looking out for that. Bias is mainly bearish. I'm sorry, bias is mainly bearish. But and for the notes, I'm gonna put in looking for backside of 25 shorts mainly, but if stock can hold above 25, no shorts. The inflection point for me will be 25 in that case, right? Basically 24.50 to 25. Need to see what happens around that area. As for supports, there's quite a bit of supports that the stock can find into somewhere in these ranges, somewhere even back all the way down into 22. So I'm not going to be worried about the supports right now, because the only trade idea that I have over here is for the shorts. If the stock does dip down and show buying right back into $22.50 into $22, you could look for some long over there too. I guess I'll just put down that number that I just said out loud, 22.50 to 22 area. Could build in for some longs. I won't be trying a long in between those ranges at 23 kind of just the midpoint between 24 and 22 basically. So I'm gonna leave that price alone, and then we're just waiting for 25 to come into play, baby. 25 RBLX. Sky Fairy says, good evening. I'm loving the Patreon levels. Thanks, Prad. Hey, there you go. See, TH, somebody likes my watch list. No, I'm not. I'm just joking, TH. Yeah, Sky Fairy pays for my Patreon. She supports me on Patreon. Appreciate it very much. Means a lot to me. And I send her the watch list every single day. Hopefully, you're able to find some trades on it. Hopefully, you're able to use those levels to make some trades for yourself and make that sweet, sweet dollar, baby. Sweet, sweet cheddar that everyone loves in this stonk market. Coming back to, however, this stock, as I was talking about, Roblox. This range is cool and all, But then we got another range right above it at 47.60 on Roblox. Right now we're forming a little bit of a compression range between what looks like 42 or 43 and 45. So if Roblox does get above 45, I don't see why the stock doesn't go up to 47.50 in my opinion. Ooh, wrong box. 45 resistance. Support will be whatever that was. 42, 43, 42/43. 42/43, resistance 45, inflection 45. If stock can take out 45 and hold as support, could see a move to 47.50s. Bullish above 45, no trade under 45. Bearish under 47.50, bullish above. I might just have to move my alert a little bit into 45 kind of. I'll put it there at 44.89. I'll put my alert at 44.89 so I can kind of get reminded or alerted, sorry, not reminded, when the stock pushes into that 45 area, and then we can kind of make a decision. What's happening at 45? Are there buyers coming into 45? Are there sellers coming into 45? And then if we're able to break out of 45, you got to move to 46. You got to move to 47. And then the stock possibly finds some resistance into 47-ish or so. Hey, Brad, you live during market open? No, I'm not live during market open, my friend. That is a sucker's game. And I don't do that. I don't go live during market hours anymore. Not worth my time. Not worth my time. I only go live 8 o'clock and on Monday to Thursday. Monday to Thursday, 8 o'clock and forward until I get tired of streaming. Roblox was just the one that we were talking about. Next up on board, Affirm. Affirm still has a little bit more room for me to get to come into play. But Affirm, this 41, is that 41? What are you? 41, yeah, 41. Looks like it's holding. 41 does seem to have some buying at the moment, surprisingly enough. We are pinching between yesterday's anchored VWAP and today's VWAP. There is a possible move. I'm not really too sure what I want to do with the firm. I might have to confer with my manager because he's the one who trades a firm more often. He's the one who actually puts the stock on our watch list. He talks about it almost every day. So I mean, I don't really trade it as much as he does. So I don't really have a trade idea. Here's a little bit of a channel that looks like that is being formed, or at least a trend line, a diagonal trend line that seems to be forming on a firm. So maybe some supports under 41, under 40 to help the stock find some buying and then pop up to the north side. I'm going to leave a firm without any notes. I have no idea what I want to do with the firm. I do, however, know if a firm pushes to the north side into my ranges over here of 49.50 or 49 or 51.50, I am interested to see what happens then. So I'm just going to put down those price points and then no notes along with it. It's also going to be on the white color of trades because it's not important for me. Once again, for anyone who does pay for my watch list or is planning to pay for them, anytime you see a stock in orange or blue and you're wondering what that means, orange is higher priority, blue is lower priority, white not a priority at all in my opinion. However, a firm might be of somewhat priority. I just don't know what I want to do with it just yet. Okay, next up, GME finally taking out the 1750 area. Looks like it wants to march into 1950 or so, at which point we could look to see what happens. GME 1950 resistance. Support should now basically turn into the 17 area. Yeah, 17 to 1750. You could see some buying coming in anywhere around these ranges for for GME, looks like it wants to start making that move back up. Ryan Cohen, man, okay. I'm just gonna wait patiently though at 1950. I don't think I want to go long on 1750 unless there's a clear build long pattern like a cup and saucer, or is it cup and saucer? What is it? Cup and handle, or some sort of a clear pattern that's being shown for me to get long on GME around $17. Then only I'm gonna be thinking about it. Until then, I'm not really looking forward for the long. I'll be waiting instead, however, to short GME at 1950. Waiting near 1950. Stock has some time to get here, so not important of a stock. The watch list is great. Orange, high priority, yes. Any stocks that's kind of orange or yellow colored is high priority. Anything that's blue colored is lower priority, and then white color is no priority at all in me. That's a stock that it's not just on my watch list because it made the cut, but I didn't really find a trade in it for myself. JWN. Apparently you moved around today quite a bit, but what, like, you did nothing. You did nothing. I don't really see a trade on JWN right now. Pretty much 3 inside days back to back inside days, forming somewhat of a base over here. I don't think there's anything too important happening on JWN right now, so we can move away from that one. Go to the next one on the board, Chewy. Chewy once again holding off in this ranges. That's good. Okay, Chewy wants to basically find support into 21 and kind of hold off in the higher end of these ranges and go back up. Here's another stock from that Ryan Cohen catalyst. Obviously no longer operated by Ryan Cohen, but still looking to have the same sort of hype behind it that it did when Ryan Cohen was behind it, I guess. Actually not sure if Ryan Cohen is still part of Chewy or not. Yeah, he sold it to PetSmart. He's not part of it anymore, is he? Yeah, Cohen stepped down 2018. Sumit Singh with the name company or CEO. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, he's not with them anymore. I'm just trying to see if he has any shares still or something. Probably still has some shares with them, but he's not with them anymore. But it's still got the hype behind it and still making those moves. So I guess as long as the stock is holding above 21, there's still some opportunities over here for us to look for a trade. We have this double top now into 2220 area. Infliction will be 21. Bias will be bullish. Uh, Especially if holding 21, and we're gonna put importance of this watch list or importance of the stock as an orange color. And as for notes, stock seems to want to hold 21 and move higher. If 21 is held again, could look for a long. Okay, so that's for Chewy. If 21 is respected, I would love to be part of that stock. Let's move on to the next one. ANF, Abercrombie and Finch. This stock is on drugs. What? All-time high incoming. Wait, it is at all-time high. Yo, what? Who wears Abercrombie and Finch? Who wears Abercrombie and Finch anymore? Like, I don't see anyone wearing the shirts, the nothing. And why is this company at all-time highs? I'm short in this stock. I don't care. Short, 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 short. Putting it in my notes over here real quick. Give me a second. Okay. ANF, obviously pretty crazy of a move over here to the north side. We got that little bit of a range on the monthly chart that we mapped out. So if we just go back to our daily chart, you can see how that range, uh, 85 and 86. What do I want to do with this? I mean, the stock basically formed a base under 85, then broke out at 85, went up to 86.80. I don't know what I want to do with this. Okay, 85 support based on how it basically traded right under 85 and then broke out. 86, not really a resistance. I guess now you're putting new resistance, 87. 87, inflection point 85 and 87, or maybe is it 86? Because if the stock is now holding 86 on the way back and not really going below 86, that's a pretty bullish indication, right? Nah, I think we test 85 tomorrow, and then 85 holds, and then we go back up. That's it. 85 is the inflection. Expecting stock to pull back to 85 and hold. If holding, get long. Bullish if stock is holding 85. Okay. Color. Orange. This one is pretty important for me tomorrow. I mean, it's at all-time highs. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy in my opinion. I like 85.66 as Bex. Is that the Bex that I know? Hold up. I gotta see your image. Is that the Bex I know? Is that the kid? It is the kid. Yo, how you been, brother? Bex, how you been? Man, we miss you. We actually miss you on the floor sometimes. We talk about you. Matt misses you a lot. Matt, like, I think at least once a week he talks about you. He's like, do you still talk to Bex? Do you still talk to Bex? We miss you. Come by next whenever you're ready to start trading again. We are looking forward to having you on the floor again. And Bex is saying he likes 85.66 on ANF. I mean, dude, who the fuck is wearing ANF? 85.66, yeah, I like it. Right around 85.50, 85.66. I think 85 has to get respected. If 85 doesn't get respected at the end of the day, right over here at 85, it's a problem for ANF in my opinion. And I'm pretty interested to see how the stock trades tomorrow. I think I might just have to move the stock higher on my board just so I could keep an eye on it and not forget about ANF. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, GitLab. This one is a little bit harder to trade, especially right off the open if you're a little bit more inexperienced trader. The reason why I say that is because the stock doesn't really bring in a lot of volume throughout the open. It's very choppy off the open too. The spread's a little nasty. Later on in the day, the spread kind of tightens up a bit, but not too much. You'll still have a shitty spread. The volume at the throughout the day ends up being maybe 3 million, like barely 3 million. So the volume's not really the best for the stock off the open, but the opportunity seems to be stepping back in for GitLab. And you guys know how much I personally love GitLab because it's my own personal account. I still stand on my statement that I said earlier that GitLab is not a day trading stock in my opinion. It's more of a swing trading stock because of how it moves and how ugly and spready it is. If you just wait at the right levels to swing trade this position, you'll thank yourself. And for that, I think you're just waiting right now near $71 or $70 over here on GitLab to the upside. Holding above 62 is actually pretty bullish. I remember trading the stock on the earnings moves itself. I remember us getting rejected by 62, so now getting above 62 and holding above that is a very bullish sign. So that's the first support for anyone wondering. just gonna put it in my notes. That 62 area is the first support. If we do break that 62, then we have that 58, 59 area to the downside. As for resistances, as I just mentioned not too long ago, we have that 70 area to the upside. No trades on GitLab for me, just the stock that I had on my watch list for you guys to keep an eye out for anyone interested on the swing term ideas for that stock. Next up, Sentinel One, S ticker Sentinel One. This stock is absolutely still going crazy after its earnings report. We were looking for that base to get formed into $22, successful. Then we were looking for the rejections to come in at 25, unsuccessful on that one because there's still a lot of buying. So after unsuccessfully rejecting this 24.50, 25 area, now we're pushing into this 27.20 where the stock has shown a little bit of resistance previously, but a little bit of a fake breakout above that area into $30 is also possible. So as for Sentinel One, if we do get above this little bit of an inside day that we're having from this day, I guess that's the Thursday, Friday inside day, Monday inside day, if we are able to get above that 27.20 and actually hold above 27.20, let's just say 27.30, hold above 27.30, that's pretty bullish in my opinion, and opens up a room to $30 on the stock. Maybe not in one day, but at least on a swing term basis. For a day trade, you might just be able to scalp $1 or $2 on this position to the north side. Let me go confirm that real quick by looking at the ATR on this trade. Yeah, $1.24. So if you are looking for the longs around 27.20, maybe we got to move up to 28.20 or so, and the stock might take 3-4 days to go into that $30 area that we're expecting after 27.30. 27.30 inflection 27/27.30. Notes: looking for stock to get above 27 and hold for a move to 30 on swing idea. But keep in mind that the stock's ATR is about what, $1.20, yeah, $1.24. So don't expect move to 30 in one day. Okay, so that's the important notes for there. I think we'll have to put it on the blue color of trades. I don't really see it happening right off the open. I don't really see it happening with a lot of volume either. I might have to kind of just, wait for the right time, right setting, right mood. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but you might have to wait a little bit for the stock to ripen up a little bit, prime itself up for that right trade setup. How's it going, man? I'm doing great. I will for sure, says Bex. Okay, I like that. Yes, sir. BTC back to 43K now. Let's go. BTC moving right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. Looks like that wedge is breaking out. We are making a little bit of move, but now it looks like a resistance around 44, 43K. Let's go see what it looks like on the heat map over here. See if we can find any. Why can't I zoom in and zoom out on the heat map? There we go. Not really seeing any sellers on the heat map right now. We're seeing a lot of buying. Big buyer over here. You see how that buyer is holding up the holding up Bitcoin right at 40,159. And you can see the low right there, 40,198. So 40,159, let's say 40,200 area. There's a big buyer at 40,200 holding it up. That buyer stepped up a little bit, going into 40,600, 40,500. And now we're holding off that area. That buyer is still there. You can see how that buyer is still there. He kind of took out the order when the positions or when Bitcoin popped up, but when Bitcoin came right back down, that buyer put that order right back in. And same with this buyer too, kind of showing you that they're still intending to take that size down there. So they are propping up Bitcoin at the moment to the north side, these buyers. Next question is what happens above 44, 45, and if we do get above 45, I have a line at 45.80, but I think we go to 48,000 honestly on Bitcoin. That's up to this range over here. Bitcoin not too far away from testing one of my R2s, I guess. This is R1 right now. This is R2. So getting ready to go to that R2 if we do have that juice, that momentum, that boost to the north side. Just boost up, baby. Come on, I would like for it. Thoughts on PFE and Eli Baba? Pfizer's actually banned from my Discord, from my stream, from everything. No one's ever allowed to mention the stock Pfizer in my streams or in my Discord. If you think I'm joking, I'm not. Let me prove it to you. Hold up. Server settings, audit logs, no, sorry, safety setup, auto mod, edit. So you see that right there? Anyone who uses these 3 variations or any other variations of Pfizer in my Discord will be banned. Don't ask me why. I don't care for Pfizer. The company sucks. Company sucks. The trade sucks. Everything about it sucks. I hate Pfizer. Hate Pfizer. Hate it. Never looking at this company ever. Moving on from this garbage company. See how angry I got from this stupid ass company? I hate it. Let's move to another company. Go to Foot Locker. Foot Locker still hasn't gone to my price point. We're still waiting for my trigger to go off into $32 over here. It actually is rejecting even before going to that price point, just showing you that how strong of a selling pressure we have going into this price point on Foot Locker. Anytime it goes even closer to this price, it just gets sold off. Every now and then, random upgrades come into Foot Locker, allowing it to go into these prices. But right as those upgrades come out, the stock just gets sold to the downside, kind of showing you that these upgrades, when banks or analysts are coming out with upgrades, they're using these upgrades to offload their shares onto people. That is my theory. That is my conspiracy theory. If I had a tinfoil hat to strap onto my head right now, I would. But that is my conspiracy theory, that anytime upgrades come out for shitty companies like Foot Locker, they use that as a liquidity event and dump off their shares to other traders and so on. So Foot Locker over here, because of that, getting sold down. I'm still waiting for Foot Locker to pop up. Right now, no real trades on Foot Locker, so we'll just move on from this one. Dollar General, my best trade on the day today. Looking to see what kind of opportunities Dollar General can give us, but right now it's pretty ugly. Yeah, this is not really the cleanest in any way, shape, or form. That's coming from 2020, so I'm not sure if I can use that level. This is not a real level. That 125 area is not a real level. We have the earnings VWAP over here at 122, but oh no, that's the earnings VWAP. This is the CEO VWAP. Yeah, I don't really know what I want to do with DG either. So we're going to move on from DG. I did get a trade on it today, but I just don't know what I want to do on it tomorrow. It's also a pretty low volume stock, sadly. So nothing really too exciting on Dollar General at the moment. Let's go to Roku, because Roku looks a little exciting. Roku obviously broke out of this, what is this, 100 area, 99, 100 area. We went up to 105, 108, and then we are now getting back below 100 on Roku. So Roku getting sold off a little bit. Technically, Roku should start buying again into this $90 area, and that's where the earnings VWAP is also at. We also got a couple minor lows coming in right into this $92. As you guys can see, after the earnings have come out, Roku pops up and then continues to keep popping up. Maybe some upgrades came out over here that actually allowed it to go to the $100 area, but right into this 87, after forming a support at 87, we formed a support into 92, which I think this hammer candle, today's candle looks a lot like a hammer candle that looks like it's going to go test that 92 and either find supports at 92, and if it doesn't find supports at 92, it's got that room all the way down to 87.50. So Roku, we're going to quickly mark some areas: 92, 87.50. As for the notes, maybe as for inflection, I'm going to put 92. As for resistance, I'm going to put whatever that is, 96. 96 for resistance. Today's high, yeah, 96 for resistance. As for notes, what was I going to say for notes? If stock can hold 92, could look for a long, but if 92 is not held, stay away from longs, maybe short to 87.50s. Bearish under 92, bullish above. Yeah, there we go. Bearish under 92, bullish above. Color orange. Color orange because I think Roku is going to be a little active tomorrow in my opinion. Nice little hammer candle. Perfect rejection of this pop. Kind of like a fake out pop almost. Now if we do find support into the earnings VWAP, then there's a chance to get back up there. But right now there's a chance for the downside move for us on Roku. Next up, baby, it's got LNTH, a stock that I've never traded, never even heard of this position ever in my life. Found it in my trade idea scans. After I was going through some trade idea scans on the day, found LNTH because it was down bad on the day today. So taking out a good little support over here into $60 on LNTH. Pretty interested what the stock would do on any pops into these levels. And then we got much more downside, especially if today's catalyst, didn't do my research, don't really care about the research either. Not the right way to think about it, but don't really care about the research either. Only thing care about is what the stock did today, and then what can it possibly do going into tomorrow. So clear rejection of this 59.85/60 area, which will no longer be support, which will now be resistance in my opinion, 59.85/60. And then as for supports, I'm looking for somewhere at 47.77, 47.77 to the downside. You could also look at today's low, maybe into 54.80/55. Hello, Prad. 54.80/55. To come into play for a breakout of that area for a possible move down into the north-south side. Today's move down 26%. That means the stock has triggered SSR short sale restriction. It will also be on short sale tomorrow. So for you to take that breakout, it might be a little hard. You might just have to wait for the stock to go under, pop back up, and then if it's showing you rejection at that 55, 54, 80, then you can possibly get short at that 55 area and then write it down. But if the stock is already above 55 into $60 and rejecting 60s, you can get short there also. Look to get short into 60s or 55s if stock is already below 55. Bearish below 60, bearish below 55. No, yeah, I don't want to go for longs. No longs, just no longs in general. So I'm not even going to put anything about bullish sentiment in that stock at all because I am not bullish. It's that simple. Got it? It's that simple. LNTH. Next up is US Steels. I'm not going to bore US Steels with you. US Steels is just a buyout position at this moment. I'm not going to bore you guys with it. Let's go to the next one over here. Costco. Costco obviously is just going insane after the earnings report. Two back-to-back $20 days. Like, holy smokes. Yesterday, $28 or Friday, $28. Today, $22. The stock's ATR is $10. So two back-to-back 2 ATR moves, kind of indicating that the stock might not even be done with its move just yet. We're getting ready to go to $700 over here on Costco apparently. So more pumps to the north side possibly for us to be involved in. But right now, I'm going to have to be, a little hesitant on Costco because it's a really expensive stock. The spread's insane. I'd rather be patient and look for the right patterns to build into on Costco. Maybe just scalp the patterns, just play chart patterns on the stock instead of, using this candle as a level or using this candle as a level, because both of these candles are kind of humongous and gigantic. So no real trades for me off Costco for tomorrow unless I have no other trades anywhere else, which is ridiculous. I think if I don't have any trades after all of these watch lists that we just went through, it'll be like, what the hell are we doing? Let's go to Amazon. Amazon finally getting above 150. It actually opened above 150 and successfully held 150 off the open and just ran up to what, $5 to the north side. So Amazon for a monster move. If by any chance Amazon pulls back into 150, not saying that it does, but if for any chance Amazon pulls back into 150, you want to look for the longs into Amazon over there and not miss out that opportunity. So looking for that long into 150. Looking for the long even somewhere into any of these other derivative anchor points that we have mapped out. The next point after this, I mean, Amazon still has a lot of room to the upside if it wants to go test resistances. I want to wait for the supports on Amazon, so that's my price point. Apple, it's not really at 200. We're still waiting for 200 in my opinion on Apple. You could look for these ranges to make a decision, but if you want to trade a large cap, there's other large caps at better prices where we can make decisions, and Apple is just not the one right now. The other one, in my opinion, is Microsoft. Microsoft getting ready to break out of this 375, going above 375, especially if the market's looking strong. That's looking like a good trade over there. So look out for Microsoft 375. As for supports, we're looking at whatever the hell this is, 367, 366.50, 375. For Microsoft as a resistance support, 366.50. So Microsoft looks a little bit better than Apple. Meta had a nice pop in it today too. Meta did have a pop, but not as big of a pop that Amazon did after taking out of a significant level. So Meta could just pop right back down and then find support. So Meta, I'm going to leave this one alone a little bit. Also, I think Meta has a little bit more room to the north side for me to be ready to make a decision somewhere around 350s. So no real reason for me to touch Meta just yet, but I know you guys love Meta. Feel free to go trade that one. Google, still waiting for Google, I guess, into these price point. Google successfully holding 132, launching back into 137, 138. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for Google. There's other trades there. Nvidia, Netflix, Tesla. These are the ones that are important. Nvidia 500 breaking later on in the day and actually moving to what, 503, 504. How high did we go? 502, 503. I remember taking the long on the 500 break and making like a couple dollars on that position. That was good. So the question is, what does the stock do on the way back? Does it hold 500? Looks like it did so successfully, but the stock could easily come back to Friday's high and test Friday's high one more time if there's any buying around here. So around 494.50, 494.50/495. And then the next support after that will be 500. Inflection point kind of just basically 500. If Nvidia can hold 500, bullish AF, but if not, just wait to see what happens at yesterday's ranges and wait for a pattern to form. Bullish if market is bullish, and bearish if market is bearish, for the sentiment, for the bias for the stock basically. As for resistances, that resistance at 503, 504, I guess we could just say 505.50. That's the all-time high right now, 505.50. So we'll just say 505.50 on this position. Market. So Nvidia over there, pretty solid areas on Nvidia to take a look at. Netflix, also pretty solid areas on Netflix over here. Not really all-time highs, but 52-week highs coming into play. Also near $500. So take a look at what Netflix probably sets up to do around 500. What is this area? 485-ish? I guess 485 should technically end up being support now. I'll put 480 as support. 480 as support. 500 is like the end all be all resistance. The resistance before that kind of will be today's high into 492. 492 and then 500. Last but not least, we got Tesla over here. Let's take a look at Tesla. My manager had a long on Tesla off the open. He actually killed it. Not sure what the trade idea was on Tesla over there. Tesla has been lagging a little bit. It's been compressing a little bit. Kind of what Microsoft's doing at the moment, and think of it as a spring. The longer the spring is being compressed and being held tighter, once the spring is let go, it kind of breaks out and makes a way for either side, right? Runs up to the north side, runs up to the south side, whatever side the spring is let go on, it will launch off through there. So Tesla was kind of being compressed in the zone for a little bit, and then finally breaking past the zone. We're seeing a little bit of volatility, some moves coming in on Tesla past 250 going into the north side, so you can look out for that 250 area on Tesla to see if there's any trades around there. For me, no real trades on Tesla. I think I'm more interested on Amazon, Nvidia, and Netflix for myself. And I got a bunch of other tech basket stocks for me to take a look at. However, I am more interested on what the overall QQQ basket and the overall SPY baskets are doing, and how can they set up for a trade for us. So QQQ, 72 cents away from all-time high. SPY, not that far from all-time high. Not wanting to do the math right now, but it's about $6-7 away from all-time high. So not that far away from both these markets to be into those glorious positions for the highs. The question is, what does the market do when we do break it? Does the market kind of trap people, make a fake breakout, and then just dive right back to the south side, kind of like this? Right? I'm not saying that happens in one day, but what does the market do? Does the market go there and then come back down? Or does the market just trickle slowly all the way to the north side and never really has a pullback? So there's a lot of questions over here what the market can possibly do. The FOMC committee already kind of talking about cutting down rate hikes and so on. All kind of bullish talk, which is what's helping the market go up here. So the only thing we can do, honestly, is create the trade ideas, create the theses, and then use the volume, use the price, use the information that the stock market's giving you to either why am I saying words so weirdly? Either confirm or deny our thesis on the trades. Is it a false breakout? Is it an actual breakout with substance and juice behind it for us to follow through and make some money to the upside? Or is it a false breakout? There's no more juice. The buying came in. They only came in to burn the stops. And now we're back below this 409 area. And we're diving to the downside, back to 406, back to 403 on the QQQs. That opportunity opening up the back doors for you to short stocks like Tesla, Netflix, Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft. If QQQ has a false breakout and Nvidia is still at 500, do you really think Nvidia is going to continue going up above 500? That might give you a monster short where Nvidia is going down $10 for the rest of the day. So those are the type of trades that I want to be involved in, and I think you can only be involved in them if you prepare for it. If you prepare for it, if you create an idea, what do you want to do if QQQ does this? What do you want to do if QQQ does that? If you don't have that idea prepared, if you don't have that mentality bagged into your watch list, then you're just gonna be always gonna be that guy, which I was at one point, who was gonna be like, oh man, look at that stock, oh man, what a move, I wish I had it. How do you get it? You wish you had it, but how do you get it? How do you catch it? How do you trade it? Make all those notes in your make all those write-ups, right? Write up about all those things. Like, for example, over here, I write up about all my trades. I have all my different setups as a playbook, and when I click on any of these setups, I can see exactly what that setup is telling me to do, where the entry is, where the risk is, where the stop is, where the profit is. I can click on any setup over here at any point, and I can find, even on the S&B Capital, I can find the setup. And then I can also find the video along with it. So make notes of almost everything that you can that can help you get better. If I ever have a question on how to trade a failed breakout out of range, I immediately just go watch this video real quick, exactly at that same timestamp. Bang, bang, bang. I look at some of my trade write-ups on a failed breakout or a day 2 trade or a day 3 trade. And then I go look at my daily watch list, go look at my notes, see that my notes and my plans all make sense along with the price action today. And then you execute. There's no more guessing, no more making shit up, no need of my emotions to come into mess with my trade. I just let the trade do what it's supposed to do. And if it didn't do what it's supposed to do, that's fine. I manage my risk, I move on, and I try again with a different stock. That's stock market in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. Stock market in a damn nutshell. That is all the stocks market stuff that I had to talk about today. I do have a YouTube video to watch, which we're going to react to together. If you guys want to hang around, I see Alma Hamada coming in saying TraderPrad Nvidia got as high as 523 or so in the aftermarket earnings. Yeah, I don't care about that. Like, it might have gotten there, but it's not there now, right? It's not there now. Well, shoot. Give me a second. And did it even, like, I'm looking at it. When was the earnings? Earnings was on this day. Yeah, on that day, easily could have. Easily could have, but let me go back to let's go for 15 minute. On 15 minute, I'll be able to see it. There we go. On the 15 minute, looks like 509 was the high of the earnings move over there, which is not a lot, which is actually not much more than 500, 509, whatever the hell it was. 523 or so is what you're thinking. You're saying it went to. I'm only seeing 509. But still, the after hour move doesn't matter. This after hour move. Oh shit! I got scared for a second. This after hour move doesn't really matter. We only care about what's happening in the regular trading hours right now on the yearly chart. On the yearly chart, that's what takes a look. That's what's being considered as the all-time high, not the after hour number. TraderPrad, it was 2 earnings ago. Was not last one. Sorry, it was my other account to show. I'm on the trader. Is my other account to show on Trader TV Live. It could be a level to look for. You're using 2 accounts on Trader TV Live? Why? Did they ban your account or some shit? But yeah, this bad boy over here, we're looking at Nvidia for any reasons tomorrow. Like I was saying, we have a video to react, but before we go react to that video, I'm gonna send you to a commercial. Hey, you there. Yeah, you with the Manscaped shirt. Are you tired of decoding the stock market? Are you looking like this guy, always lost after every single day? Well, look no further. Today, we got a brand new offer for you from TraderSync. This software will help you identify exactly where you're losing, where you're winning, and how to maximize your profits. Use code PRAD15 at the checkout. If you start journaling your trades, you will start trading better and you will start looking like this guy. So what are you waiting for? Go on out there, go get yourself a TraderSync discount, use code PRAD15, and they also have a Black Friday sale going on with 65% off. Don't be late. Alright, welcome back. We are now going to react to an SMB Capital video, maybe learn something new together with you and me over here. Hold up, let me boost this volume to the max so you guys can hear it. I will also turn on subtitles for you guys. And we're going to watch it. We're going to learn some new things and hopefully expand our trading knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. What is this again? So this video is what is it? How to swing trade stocks like a prop trader. Let's go find out.
Traders, I'm excited to share several new ideas with you today, all of which I believe could have significant directional moves. But just before I do that, I wanted to share a trade that I took last week with you because I think there's a lot that could be learned from it. So you'll remember last week that one of my top ideas was a breakout long in Tesla. And it's actually on my list again this week.
Okay, so yeah, see, he was talking about the breakout long in Tesla. What is this? Prior day low momentum short breakout. He got short, covered, got short again, added on the short, add back earlier covers. So he added these earlier covers back, key daily breakout, took more on that breakout, and then cover, 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 cover. This was on the short side, right around 234. So 234 breakout. Look at that. Perfect breakout, right? Double bottom breakout. You get filled right into the downside. You get paid for your entry. You add a little bit more, thinking that it's going to continue to the downside. Doesn't really continue. Your stop is somewhere up here. That stop never really triggers. After showing you a false breakout to the north side and then coming back down, breaking that trend line, you're adding back your covers you originally added. You're waiting for another key level breakdown, which was at 232. On that key level breakdown, you add more to that, and then you're just profit city all the way to the downside. Beautiful trade. I think here's what I do wrong that I'm understanding from my manager recently, and also by looking at charts like this. If I was short here, I would have taken profits. I probably would not have added back, which is a mistake, but I'm changing that right now. These days I am. You saw me do that with Dollar General today, where after I took profits, I got my size that I got out back, and then I would have taken my profits right here. But notice how no profits were taken, because he's playing for the breakout. He's playing for the breakout. So why take profits over here and waste money? Taking profits over here is wasting money, which is what I would do. Instead, when you are playing for the breakout, you just hold that trade, add to your breakout, and then you take that profits where you actually meant to take profits. I would have probably been out over here and called myself a woohoo, I'm an absolute legend, but no, you didn't trade it properly. You took the trade like a swing trade. You took the trade like a breakout trade, but you scalped it like a scalp trade, which is why most of my trades end up being a small winner compared to a big winner, as they are supposed to be. I'm kind of understanding the theory behind this more and more as my manager kind of hammers that idea into my head. So yeah, that's the idea behind it. Understand what you're playing for. You're playing for the breakout. You got the breakout, cover. Then you're playing for another breakout, which is working. Another breakout, which is working. So no need to cover there.
But while that idea gained momentum during the last 2 days of last week on the long side, and I made money on the long, I also went short the stock on Wednesday and profited. Now, here's the lesson that I wanted to share with all of you. Now, as I mentioned last week, during the watch list, the long idea I believe was a bit crowded, and that made me hesitate for a long, working out very seamlessly and just easily. But I kept it on my list because from a technical point of view, I really liked the setup. But by remaining open-minded and flexible, I could use that information gathered from the breakout idea, and specifically the idea not triggering, all right, so not breaking above that key resistance level to get long, trapping eager some early longs that were predicting rather than reacting, key levels, potential stop zones, and areas of intraday influxes, injections of supply, all right, from people being stopped out and having to sell their positions to go short for a momentum long. So here's the trade that I took last week, which really explains all of this in greater detail and from a visual perspective. So I got short at the prior day low for a momentum short breakdown, really as the first entry in this position, and to test it out. It worked very nicely. I took my momentum covers, left on a small piece, and added a very small amount just to remain in the position. As it bounced, I noticed that support had now turned into resistance, and once we broke this small bearish wedge pattern, I looked to add back my earlier covers. Well, I took
That's what I said earlier.
added that back. My stop was now placed above this high, so keeping it momentum in terms of using lower highs as my area in which I'm wrong, and therefore my stop is placed. The next area of interest was the 232 key level of support on the daily chart. We traded seamlessly down into that level. I never took any covers because I was looking to add if we broke down, which we did at 232, so I added twice. I got to full size, and then from there onwards, I just had systematically I was covering on weakness. So basically, I had small bids incrementally every certain amount in which the stock traded low, I was covering a very small portion systematically of my position, and I got completely flat once I
I want to
noticed
know
the
what that
comparative.
system
What
is.
was
I
that
want to know
trend?
what that systematic profit taking is, because that's something I'm also lacking on.
That was this trend break right here, and that was on this candle around 11:30. You can see that we broke this extreme downtrend. We had a bit of a volume spike and a candle which engulfed the last 5 or 6 minutes or so. And so for me, that was the reason to exit my trade, in which I took my size off there after systematically covering there. So this is a really good example of a momentum trade. Originally, I wanted to go long. I had a plan to go long, however, it didn't trigger, and therefore I didn't go long. All right. Instead, I went short because I recognized that the longs who did not wait for confirmation were potentially stuck in the trade, and support was about to give way, providing a really good opportunity for momentum short. Now, the following day, I actually did a similar trade in Tesla, but that was to the long side. And Tesla now, I believe, is actually set up better than it was last week on the long side for a swing long. So let's move straight on to some fresh ideas for the week. And as I just mentioned, Tesla is my main idea in terms of my swing ideas for the week. Because after a very quick move lower, below support, below 232s, and running some stops, you know, shaking the tree, as they say, it's now reclaimed all of its key moving averages, and it's held above the consolidation's resistance above this 247.
What are these key moving averages you talk about?
Closed above 250 and above this downtrend resistance. So everything looks pretty
50
good
minute
in Tesla for
and the
momentum to
5
continue to
minute.
the upside, as they say, from a failed move.
Looks like the 5
Lower,
minute
he's
EMA
fast
and the
move higher
15-minute
potentially. So
EMA.
let's see. So I'm looking for dips, higher lows, and steady
50
support over
SMA
250
and the 5
for a
SMA.
long entry, and I'll place my stop
I don't know
below
what the
Friday's
hell
low.
he's looking at, but okay.
And I'm targeting move towards 260 first target to take off a little bit of size to lock in some profits, and then I'll discretionarily leave some on for third and a bit of a loftier target around 270. I'm going to trail my stop using the hourly time frame and higher lows. As you know, that is how I like to usually do it. And apart from Tesla, some other backburner ideas, these ideas that I've set alerts for the upcoming week. And if price triggers, if volume triggers, then I'll have my eyes more actively watching the stock and price action. But the first one will be in UPST. In
Okay.
Upstart I like because it's put in an impressive inside day on Friday. Obviously, we
Yeah,
have some momentum.
we
to the
talked
upside.
about that. Had an inside day
Abnormal
today
and
too.
unusually high short interest in the name. So it is setting up for potential continued momentum and a break higher.
Yeah, we talked
if
about
we get above
that.
Friday's high.
What's
we
that?
see
48?
continuation to 50. So I have some alerts set for the
Oh no, 48 was today.
Friday's move and
46,
Friday's high, and if that
45, 46 was Friday's high.
sustained, I'll be looking for some momentum longs and a potential swing long towards 50. Quad C,
So he basically took that trade that we were looking at today on Affirm, sorry, not on Affirm, on UPST, which is above that move above. This is today's move. This is 15 minute. So let's go to the 5 minute. This was the move he's talking about. So taking out the Friday's high, which is, where's Friday? This is Thursday. This is Friday. Taking out Friday's high, taking out Thursday's high, above 47, above 46.50, giving it that room to $50 or so. It actually went up to $48, but I think he's still swinging it, right? And if he's swinging it, his stop is under this area, in my opinion, and he's looking to possibly still hold this. It broke out, came back, still held it, reclaimed most of its moving averages still, and it's still above it. So in my opinion, UPST still has some room to the north side. That's what we have in our notes too. Bullish above 43.50, bullish above 44. So as long as we still keep holding 44, bullish, and if we keep getting back above 48, 45, 46s, also all very bullish in my opinion on UPST, which is what homeboy here is talking about. And now he's moving on to C4 Therapeutics. This is not my forte. I don't know what to do with small caps at all. So let's watch and see if we can learn something from here.
Exceptional mover on volume, exceptional price surge last week on what could be potentially fundamentally changing news. It remains to be seen in the long run. But in the short term, it definitely appears to be on the backside for now. And therefore, I have some alerts set for pops into 550, up into 6, and to see if this can put in intraday a failed move higher, to be able to get short and target a move back down towards Friday's low and into the mid fours. And then lastly, last week and the previous week, we saw a number of
What the hell is
pumps
this?
get liquidated. GGHG was
Oh,
one.
small cap
MSS
pump and
was another
dumps.
from Friday. So a couple of the ones that are last standing for me that I'll be keeping an eye on is EJH, which
Pump and
is
dumps.
one that could potentially be liquidated
Dump
in
and
coming days
pumps.
or weeks. And ZJYL is another one. And so I just have some alerts in price and volume alerts set for these names, because once volume comes in, once price confirms, then they could definitely have some wild moves lower. Guys, that is it for me for this week.
No, give me
And I
more.
hope you all have a brilliant week. Good luck. And
Thank
I will
you.
see you next week.
I will see you
Certain
next week
active
too, bro.
trader, Not doing as well as you want.
You're right.
Not doing as well as you deserve.
Right.
You just can't figure out why. You can't become profitable no matter how hard you try.
I can and I
Let me
can't.
show you why.
Okay.
This is your competition.
No way.
The traders in this room. This room right here is full
Oh.
of elite traders. Some of them
Well,
are
that guy looks like a loser.
and even 8.
That guy looks like
In
a.
fact, our top guys
His time's
are
coming to an
20
end.
million each in net trading profits in a single year.
Damn,
Let's
okay.
head to my office so I can share more.
Yo,
You're
I'm in Bella's
probably
office.
Seeing videos
I'm
of
in Bella's
average
office.
Trader lifestyles.
All right, this
Trading
is all
deals,
just an
trading
advertisement for
laptop
those
for
of
an
you
hour.
don't know.
They have
SMB
15
Capital
minutes.
hosts university course that they do. You can sign up to it on SMB Capital's website. Go check them out. SMB Capital YouTube channel, the best YouTube channel out there for day traders, swing traders, prop traders, any type of trader. If you are a trader or looking to be a trader, wanting to learn, that's where you go. SMB Capital has taught almost every single trader on the old Day Trade the World floor that I was on, and it is also the Bible for the current Day Trade the World floor that I am on. Almost any big trader that I have seen backs up SMB Capital. I would vouch and I would urge every single one of you, if you have not heard of this channel, go find out, go click subscribe, go listen to this stuff. Hands down the best educational tools out there on YouTube. SMB Capital. There's no other channel, not even the old workplace that I worked at, who does it like these guys do it, period. SMB Capital, the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps the end of tonight's stream. Thank you everyone for coming out, hanging out for about an hour, 40 minutes or so with your boy TraderPrad. I see Barcat saying thank you for Microsoft. Could you talk about Costco? And I see Momo asking for me to talk about, or not Momo, who was it? Sky Fairy asking me to talk about my best trade of the day. All of these conversations have already been had earlier on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. So best trade of the day all the way at the start of the stream, Costco. I think I actually skipped Costco because I didn't find a trade for myself in Costco, nor do I think I want to be trading Costco tomorrow. If I do want to trade Costco tomorrow, it's going to be off of chart patterns because I don't really have a strong level that I want to trade off of on Costco. So chart patterns and derivatives like moving averages and something, I'll be using that to see if any of the moving averages get respected on Costco for me to trade off of, and so on. So no real idea for me on Costco to elaborate, so nothing that I could talk about that. As for the rest of the stream here, we got a couple of things left. I almost forgot. Let me just quickly show you what the economic calendar looks like for tomorrow. Tomorrow's economic calendar is a little busy. We got building permits, housing numbers, so maybe Lennar, maybe Home Depot. Some of these companies could move around. LOW, all of which have been moving around recently. So LOW, LEN, Home Depot might not be a bad call to put these ones on your watch list also, as those stocks might have a reason to move around 8:30. Besides that, don't really see anything too important on the economic calendar. Besides the economic calendar, I would like to remind you guys that we have a bunch of social media links on our link tree. All the links are right down below in the description. The YouTube, which you're watching me on, Twitter, where I'm the most active on for trading, Discord, where we have an awesome community with Dieter, with Momo, with Sky Fairy, with Blind Jedi, who is the Discord and the YouTube moderator, all of which they have amazing conversations on our Discord about trading throughout the day. You can go check that out. My Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitch, my affiliate sponsors for trading, Trade Ideas, TraderSync, Benzinga. Only 3 tools that I use for trading, and the only 3 tools that I think you need for trading, for tracking your trades, for finding out what stocks are moving, and for the news. So go check these links out if you want to purchase any of these softwares for yourself. Each one of these softwares do come with a special code. The codes are right down in the description below if you want to check them out. Once again, you can support me on Patreon for free, or you can support me on Patreon for extra perks such as the watch list or a one-on-one mentoring session. And you can also book me on Cameo to record personalized videos for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. It's been a great stream. It's been wonderful to be back to the market. Monday is here. Tomorrow, Tuesday. So you guys know what to do when it's Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Come back here. Come back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time, that is. We'll have more fun. We'll look at FedEx. We'll look at all the other stocks that are moving around. Maybe more UPST, maybe more Costco, maybe NIO, maybe Abercrombie and Finch, because for some damn reason that stock's at all-time high. So come by tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Until then, have a good night and have an even better trading session. Peace.